Hello and welcome to the skating lesson. I'm Dave Lees.
And I'm Nolan Carney.
Nolan, welcome back to This and That. You're looking very mask for mask today with your hat on. I am so
See,
thrilled to discuss figure skating in the Grand Prix Final with you.
I am too. So I saw in the comments like a couple, it was like in like maybe like August or whatever. So I wore no hat. And
Okay.
someone wrote like, wow, like I didn't even recognize Nolan. Like he had no hat on. And so like, listen, the hat is when I'm having a bad hair day and like we're
Okay.
not feeling good about the hair, which is a lot of the time. So the hat has like become a staple. But then someone at a salon told me that if I wear a hat too much, like my hair will start receding. So it's like kind of a hard balance for me right now to like handle because I've been so addicted to wearing hats, but now I don't want to like lose my hair early, you know? So
Well, I got my hair trimmed earlier because we're at the end of the work year, even though we have a couple weeks left in December, like our reviews are due this week, and I had to make an end of the year video for our team doing this new software for our town hall. So this week feels almost like finals week. So
I mean it
let's
is
like,
finals week.
yeah, like I have
Skating
other
life, everything.
yeah, so it's great. Like I have other projects, like get stuff done tomorrow. Then the Grand Prix starts on Thursday, so that's why
Yeah.
we're a little delayed. We've had just some, chaotic things going on. So, when it rains, it pours. But yeah, it's been, we had Thanksgiving, Black Friday shopping, my mom's birthday. We are
Cyber
breezing.
Monday, like we have everything. You
We're
saw Wicked.
so wicked. You know what? We're moving through. So yeah, like Thanksgiving days ago. Happy Thanksgiving to
A
everyone.
year ago.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt like
Happy Grand Prix final week to everyone in
yes.
Zagreb if you celebrate.
You know what? I'm finally getting excited about it, because last week is the weird week where not
There's
much
not a lot
happened,
going on. Yeah.
but then stuff still went on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, things are happening, kind of happening. Yeah. So,
Yeah. We're getting ready for like the height of the season. Like we know what we are. When Megan said like we're kind of getting in gear for the new season to start. We're kind of ending the old of the fall. We're ramping up for the new year. We're ramping up for new faces to emerge in space and places we may not expect them to. And an exciting time in skating right now, I think.
was so funny is that so at the beginning of the year, I was at my friend's cabin one weekend and I was getting ready and we were going to film right when I got home. And I got a text from Alexa Knierim being like, why are you so quiet? It's skating season and you need to be talking about stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, right.
He was ready. She's locked in.
She was ready, locked in, okay, ready to go. It was the early challenger
Maybe like
comp.
Nebelhorn or something like that, or
These
Lombardia,
two
one of the
girls are
two.
on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Alexa, Tara Kane, always on top of everything going on, right?
Yep.
Deanna withdraws. And I get a text from Megan Duhamel going, what's going on? Is this a Tanner Belden wisdom teeth situation? And I was so thrilled that Megan was the first one of several who
I
asked.
feel we all thought that in our head, right?
Here's the thing. I didn't think it because the Grand Prix final is like a big payday. Even if you're last, don't you still get money to go? So it's
Yeah.
skaters don't
But
draw like it's at least like five figures, right? It's a big
I
opportunity.
also see Deanna as the type of person that is very concerned about like her image and reputation of when she skates. Like I don't think Deanna's gonna go out there. I don't think she wanted to go out because she's had kind of bad experiences at the finals the past 2 years. She was fourth the
Mhm.
year after the Olympics. Last year she lost to the Italians. Like that was a low blow for them. I think she knows that this season kind of isn't going in the right direction right now, and she wants just she kind of I think they realize that what the final might not be worth it in the long haul. Boston's more important, and like as Megan said, you can reinvent yourself starting at the beginning of the year. Like if she goes out there with new programs, even if
That's
she
what
has
Megan
one new
asked. Megan asked, "Are they really? Is he really sick? Or are they getting new programs?" I asked Deanna, and she said that he was sick. They tried to skate yesterday. They couldn't do it. So he
I
like
was
lost.
gonna say, I hope they're using their time wisely during this period. And, you know, I hope because listen,
I'm
if they
not
come out,
doubting Deanna, okay?
yeah,
Nolan, she has your cell phone number, okay? Now,
he
granted,
does.
I think I still am giving Tanner Belbin shit for when she pulled out about the wisdom teeth, but I'm glad that she did. It was a great excuse, okay?
It
I
was a
loved
great
it.
listen. And if Deanna listens, like just let Deanna, you are my girl, all right? Like you are my girl, like heart to heart, love you. We are supporting you here. But I think she knows that if she can miss the final and she can go out and have a gangbuster four continents, I think that it will be fine. I think she knows herself enough that she knows what she needs to do to be prepared for Worlds and for the second half of the season. And I don't really take this as a negative of them pulling out of the final.
Okay, so this is what I think about it.
Okay.
I haven't had too much time to like articulate my thoughts, but basically their short program was much better at the last
It was
competition than it
great.
was. So I think in a sense, the free just has more room to grow, especially because the sows are back to being an issue, which that's always a vulnerable element to them. And then on top of it, the throw Lutz has not been super successful for them yet in competition. And I think they just need more time doing it, training it and doing it. So at this point, I think that they can use the month before nationals, it's probably 5 weeks ish, right?
Yeah.
Really train consistently on the sows and on the throws without all the pressure. Like at least 2 weeks when he comes back of not having like high intense pressure, I think could really benefit them because once the season starts, there's almost no time for a top level team to have any time before the break between four continents and worlds to really work on things. And even though they were trying to peak later in the season, I think that they just got a little bit slower than maybe was advisable because even though they were planning to be slower this season, they're the kind of team where if the Sows are a problem at the first Grand Prix, they're going to be a problem,
Yeah.
as the season goes along. So I just think that it's good for them to have this time to reset. I think in a way, I think it's a blessing. If he's
No,
sick,
it
he's at
is.
home
Yeah.
having the sniffles, like that girl needs to calm down. Okay, so uh,
Yeah.
this
And
is
listen, like Canadian Nationals is not really a stressful event for them. And it gives them the opportunity to go out there and kind of have full confidence to go and try all these things
but what if they
at
went
their
to the
full
final?
attempts.
What if they went to, sorry for cutting off. What if they went to the final and bombed and then they were like closer to Leah and Trent than they needed to be? Then stuff starts spiraling because there's not a
That
lot of time
is
for
true.
four continents, right?
Yeah, that is
So
true.
it's a Grand
It
Prix
it
final. It
it
doesn't need
should be a
to,
less stressful event than the final, is
yeah.
what we're saying. So
Yeah, I mean, and it'll be I'm actually excited for almost all of the disciplines here, I think are going to start to be tight
they're
competition
competitive.
and competitive.
Yeah.
I think that that's really exciting, and that's the one thing that this season has over previous seasons is that it's starting to get closer and more competitive. And I think especially with the women's event, the standard of skating has risen, and really
Hmm.
the dance event as well. We're starting to see more movement with the teams that are coming up. It's the same teams that are starting to solidify. So we're seeing some momentum there. So with Deanna and Max out, by the way, if they miss the throw Lutz at nationals,
Okay.
when do you think they take it out? Like, do you take it out for four continents if you're going against the Japanese? That way you can be clean before worlds. Because at a certain point, if it's not working, you got to call it for this year, not
You
for
do. I
sure,
think
but for this year.
you take it out after nationals if it doesn't go well. But she
Mhm.
did, remember she made it a point that talked about how much work they put into it over the summer
That's
to
great.
get it.
And that work won't go away, but
Yeah.
we're going for titles. And you know what?
That is,
You're gonna
yeah, you
fall on your
switch it at four
behind.
continents. Yeah.
Yeah.
You switch it at four continents.
Yeah, like it's time to go. At a certain point, you did it, you trained it, and that's more experience for next year. Yeah, right? Like
And she can use that time to really refine it over the summer too.
Yeah.
Tested in some of the tested at a summer event or a challenger next year before the Grand Prix, because the Grand Prix is really going to be integral for them next year on in terms of solidifying themselves as a top contender for the podium.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got to have that element super solid by the Grand Prix of next year if you want it in the program full time.
And you often really don't want to win the Grand Prix final the Olympic year. It can be a bad omen. I mean,
The Chinese won, didn't they, in 2018? Or was it Alyona?
Wait.
I think the Chinese did
back. I was focused on 2002 with Arena. Why don't you Google this as I
will Google. You share. Let me Google this.
Arena Slitskaya won that final. Sally and Peltier won that final. And Borden Kratz won. And the Olympics went very differently just a couple weeks later. So, the Grand Prix final, remember, Virtue and Moyer also lost the Grand Prix final in 2018. So, there's a lot of things that
Alyona and Bruno won the final that year. So they're the anomaly.
Okay. But things change.
Don't win the final. Deanna, second at the final next year. All right. Yeah. Whatever you do, second at the final.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'm curious. What do you think? I haven't made my fantasy picks yet that we do on our Patreon. Send out the link, but Nolan, the pair event is the one that I'm feeling the most unsure about because I think it could go a couple of different ways.
It could go like 4 or 5 different ways.
Yeah,
more so 4.
Yeah, you wanted to ask a question. You said that you wanted to know what I think will happen and what I want to happen.
Oh, yes. Well, Jenny and I did this the other day. We did what we want to happen at the Grand Prix final, our heart to heart of how we want to rank them versus what we expect will happen.
Okay. So
where do you want to start?
Let's start with the pairs. Okay.
Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
Okay, so let's just go down with the list.
Oh, let's do the list first of who's there.
Riku and Ricci. Minerva and Nikita from Germany. Sarah Conti and Nicola Macci from Italy. Anastasia Metelkina and Luca Burlava, the Russian Georgians, right? Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea, and Rebecca Gallardi and Filippo Ambrosini. All right.
Yeah.
I would like Ellie and Danny to not be last. Okay?
I don't think they will.
It's a risk.
It is a risk, but I think they are solidly 5th.
They are solidly in the competition for 5th and 6th, right? Unless somebody
catastrophe. They have beaten the Georgians this year, but I don't know if that will happen again.
Listen, I want Ellie Cam to land at
the
least
throws,
like 75% of her throws and jumps, right?
Okay, 3 of 4. That's fine.
3 out of the 4 in the free.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 jumping elements. And both in the short.
But I'll give her like a messy landing in the free. Okay.
Like a step out, like a little step out.
Yeah. Or a hand down. Okay.
Maybe a little. Both in the short.
Maybe a polite cheat, right? Like on one of them. The short, we got to be clean in the short.
Got to be clean in the short.
This team, they are obviously prepping this team to be in the team event.
Absolutely.
And I was starting to realize today, it could go Italy's way. Like,
it could.
Not so locked in. Like,
their woman's still a question mark.
First of all, we all saw what happened to Nathan Chen with this first team.
I know.
Right? Anything can happen. Olympic pressure.
Yeah.
Okay. Olympic pressure, skating mothers, right? Whatever we're blaming it on, right? If you think about it, the Italian pair can definitely beat the American pair. Okay?
Absolutely.
Everyone is very afraid of this Italian ice dance team. I'm still a believer in Madison and Evan at this point, but it's going to be in Italy, right?
Things happen. Things happen.
We're relying on Amber Glenn, right?
Glenn and Danny and Ellie.
Danny Ellie, right? I mean, yes, we've got Ilia. okay, doing 1 or 2,
And
right?
Chock at Bates too. Like you've seen what happened to them at their Olympics and Worlds. Like they fall.
Yes. Okay. So like it's a great opportunity for Team USA, but like we need to get it together.
Let's be good. Let's be a little more realistic. Like let's get it together now.
Yeah. So we need to build confidence in Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea. I think they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should keep this free program for next year. They're not going to get any more artistic. Okay. We just
You
need
know
to
what? It's very nice. And the short, very nice for
fine.
them.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? He's mid-30s and bald, and she's quite young, right? Like
I think
what else
I
are they
think
gonna
they've got it their style figured out. You know, Marie France next year, like
It's as good
try
as
it
it's
for a
gonna
couple
get,
competitions.
right?
Yep. Yep.
We just got to hope that Danny doesn't have a new partner for next season. Okay, like with his track
I
record,
know.
we need to keep this together and just
Keep it
move
together for one more year, Danny.
Yeah. So you know what?
Yeah.
I'm sure his dad's praying. You know, Daddy O'Shea,
Yeah.
ready for this. All right.
So what are you
I
thinking?
think the
Okay.
Italians, Rebecca and Filippo, are really sloppy. So
Oh yeah. Her air position on the jumps,
okay.
not good. But
Okay.
they're entertaining.
Do you think they'll be last, or do you think Ellie and Danny will be
I
last?
think they'll be last. Rebecca and Filippo. I mean, Dave, they
Okay.
found out like 2 days ago.
Ellie and Danny, I think, have better quality on their elements, right?
Yes.
And I think that the judges have been rewarding them. So
Mm-hmm.
barring a disaster, I think that they will win.
They'll be fifth.
Yeah.
You know how I really see it? I really see this event as like 2 events. I see like 1 through 4 and then
Yes.
5 through 6. It's kind of almost like back in the day when they had like 1 through 3 versus each other, 3 versus 4, like back in the final in the day. Like that's kind of how I'm seeing it for the pairs and a little bit in the dance too.
All right. So what I want to happen, I
Yeah.
want Riku and Ruichi to win,
Yes.
but I think the momentum is with the Germans
Mm-hmm.
just because they've been so consistent this season. And it will piss off the pair girls to no end because they don't have the transitions of Riku and Ruichi. And that will be really entertaining.
You
Like,
know, Deanna will send us like, well, she won't send it, but she'll think it. She won't send it, but you know what she'll think.
Megan, right? What will she think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Megan is going to Golden Spin with Balaj and
Oh,
Audrey.
I'm excited for that. I'm
So
excited to
they
see
are
that.
going, okay?
And Gabby Izzo is there too.
You know, the edit during the conversation with Bruno was me hammering him on whether or not they were going to go to the
Yeah. Yeah.
talking
I
about
kind of assumed. Yeah.
so I had to like, you know, I wasn't planning on Bruno being there, and he came in and just started talking, and it's like, we're recording, right? Like,
Well, you know,
hello?
listen, when Bruno talks, you listen. You know, he's the
Yes,
yapper. He likes to chat.
he likes to chat. I like to chat with him. All right.
Yeah.
I think these Georgians are getting third.
Really, over the Italians.
And you say what I want to happen. I don't care. I'm not
Yeah,
emotional.
okay. That's, you know what? I agree with that. That is a very fair statement.
I
See, we
find
were
that,
doing this when Deanna was in it still, so like we kind of cared.
like, to me, they're both Tanya Kwiatkowski sitting a hunchback in Notre Dame against Nicole Bobek. Like, I'm just not feeling it. But comparatively, right?
Yeah. I think the Georgians have more of a wow than the Italians with their elements. Like the
Mhm.
Georgians' twist and their jumps and their overall pair qualities, I think, are more impressive than the Italians. But the Italians, again, just have that consistent grit that the Georgians sometimes lack because they'll flop. Once they have one mistake, they normally start to flop a bunch throughout the throws, the elements, the death spirals. The
Are you
Conchiamachi are a safe choice.
are you still loyal to Atari?
You know, Terry's an interesting person. I think she's become quite boring right now. I mean, she shows up to these events and like, I mean, even at like the rushed event, she really doesn't show any level of interest with it. But
She hasn't even been
no,
there.
no,
So,
not really. Like she's fine. I don't miss her that much.
okay. Would you enjoy seeing Atari get the pewter at a Grand Prix final? I mean, she used to have the entire event. It used to be,
Remember, she used to post 1 down, 2 down, 3
yes.
down. I think I like the Georgian team, so I
Mhm.
hope that they do well.
Okay.
I like all the teams in the pairs event that are here. I kind of wish them all the
What
best.
do you like about
Um,
Contiamachi? You liking that
I
format?
appreciate that they make every program dedicated to their grandparents. Like they
Okay.
have real family loyalty there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Ooh. All right. How about the ice dance event?
I'm looking forward to this one the most.
My girl Lilah Fear gonna medal.
Kate, I
She's the alley
literally between three
for
and
that.
five, I don't know where anyone is gonna. The
No,
only thing I feel
no.
solid about
Uh-uh.
is Chalk and Bates
Nolan, no.
first.
Okay. She is the alley Raisman of ice dance. Okay.
You think she's gonna win?
No, no, no. No.
I think
Stop.
second through fifth is like open for anyone.
Okay. I I think that she's gonna medal and beat the Italians here. I think that she's put
I
in the
think we
work.
have to check. We need to see who the technical controller is.
Yeah,
This
but
is important.
they were at British Nationals. They performed well. The stomping was better. They're more together than they were during the Rocky program that just never came together. They've competed a
Yeah.
billion times this season. They're ready. I don't think that they have a high ceiling. Like, I don't think their programs are going to magically get much better than they are now,
No.
but they have a very high level of consistency in what they do. I don't really worry about them. I think they're going to move in for that third slot. They've kind of done the work, and the weak material of the Italians, I think, will open the door.
Well,
Um,
I have written next to them both Lila and Gennard and Fabri. I have 3-4 and 4-3 written next to both of them because I think it could go either way. I also have written next to Lala, Lejuan Lagat. I have 3-4-5 is where I think they also could fit in.
I think they're going to be fifth.
I think they're
Uh,
going to be fifth, but I think they could be anywhere between third and fifth.
Lopereva and Broussard, I think, will be sixth at this competition,
Yeah,
just
they're lucky
because
to be there.
they're lucky to be there, and there's a lot of thought that Marjorie and Zach are the next top team, right, of the
Absolutely.
next years. So, with that being said, are you going with Chock and Bates or Gilles and Poirier to win the final?
I'm going to wait until tomorrow
No.
until we see who the technical controller is. And that is how I will decide my ranking because it is
Who do you
solely based. Who what?
who do you want to win?
I would like to see. Okay, in my heart of heart, I would like to see Lejoie and Legas first. I know that's not realistic.
That's not
I
happening.
I think
The music
the
edit is too boring. I'm the free. It's not going to happen.
I think the Chalk and Bates have better material in the free dance than Piper and Paul. I could see Piper and Paul ahead in the rhythm dance, um, over Chalk and Bates potentially. And I could see the podium being Chalk and Bates, Piper and Paul, Lila and Lewis. That's what I could see happening.
Okay, do you know what I want to happen?
What do you want to happen?
Fear and Gibson first.
Okay.
Lejoie and Laga second.
Okay, this is great. I'm good with this podium.
Chalk and Bates third.
Okay.
Pissed off Piper and Paul fourth.
Okay. Arden Fabry fifth or last.
Yeah, we can't do that to Barbara, right? Like they'll be fifth, and then
Yeah.
Lopereva and Broussard sixth, right? Just so that
So
it doesn't look right.
if we're being
Right?
honest, I will go Lejoie Legat first.
Yeah, but they haven't done it. Okay, Lila Fear has been to a million competitions.
Lobareva and Briso second.
Wait, but you didn't ask why I want Lila Fear to be first.
Lila and Lewis third. Why do you want Lila Fier first?
Because one, they're charismatic as hell, right? And they can give an
Very
interview.
correct.
And it would be just like really good to like build some buzz and competition. And they'd be really good at like giving the interview to just like rile things up before Worlds. Like it would just
Can I
like
just say,
what?
whenever Lila and Lewis like pull off an upset, it's
Yeah.
like the most exciting ice dance event ever. Remember Japan? Like that was the most exciting ice dance event we've had in years.
Hmm.
I mean, like Finland was like fine, but Piper and Paul fell. But like it's exciting when they pull off an upset.
Okay. Imagine if Fear and Gibson are first and Lejoie and Laga are second. Imagine what Madison Chock's face will look like in the kiss and cry when she gets her score. Her
And
eyes,
Piper.
right? Both of them will be mad. Their
Mhm.
eyes will say one thing and their smile will say another, right?
Yeah.
It would be an entertaining event.
I saw on Twitter before we got on, there was like someone had posted a tweet and it was like just screenshots of like ice dance reactions. And like
Mhm.
all I'm picturing now is like that account blowing up with like the newest like Madison Chalk and Piper Paul reaction.
We just need to shake up dance to just make it a little
It's
exciting.
too boring. Yeah,
It's
it
too
needs shaken
boring
up
with you can't have 4 years. It feels like
of the same podium.
Grishikov and
Yeah.
Ovsyannikov. And I what I think will happen.
Is it just gonna be a world's podium repeat?
No, Lilah and Lewis will be third, I
You
think.
think okay. I could see it. I can see it.
And they need to
Maybe Lala could really push
do you
for
think
fourth.
okay, Piper and Paul have had some great moments at the final.
The finals normally where they peak.
I I
I say
although
wait for the controller.
Chalk and Bates really stepped it up at their last competition.
They
I
did, and
think
they've
it's
had a
gonna be
lot of
close.
time.
I
It's
think
gonna
it's
be
gonna,
close. It's interesting.
I think it's a horse race. I'm not picking one. Which one's gonna win without knowing who the caller is? It could go either way. I
Our
want to
fantasy is gonna be
say
so hard this week.
I think Chalk and Bates like maybe have it by like a hair.
Hmm.
I can also see people having the desire to knock them off because they've been on top for 2 years and people think, oh, the world's in the US. I could see
Yeah.
being like some momentum behind the Canadians behind the scenes. But Montreal has 4 teams that are on the podium. You can't really trust Canada to cooperate.
Hmm.
Oh, like Canada's going to be tough because they can position Marjorie and Zach, right? But they can't really get them into the medals unless they were to drop Piper and Paul, which they're not going to do.
No.
I think that can give Chalk and Bates an edge because what are you going to do with Canada, right? Like they're going to
Yeah.
start making some hard choices. They're going to have to
Yeah.
stop playing ball with Marie France, and they might not want to. It's really
Yeah.
Roman. I don't know why we just say Marie France, but
Yeah. It's Roman. He is the political genius. All right.
yes. So mm, I wish
She's
Olivia
such a
Smart were here
I know. You know,
instead of like.
she's like the second, Dave, she's the second alternate at the final. Can we just put, last year she almost didn't make the free dance at Worlds, and now she is the second alternate for the final.
Can't we
I
vote
am
on like
so Olivia Smart. Like, I wish we could have 8 people because I want Olivia Smart at the final.
how did the she even qualify? They won an event.
Didn't they beat the Italians in the free dance?
Yeah, okay, they did God's work. They did God's work. They deserve to be.
That is like incredible. Incredible.
They deserve it. Okay.
They
So
deserve it because that free dance is amazing.
yeah, sorry, Olivia.
Amazing. Olivia, we love you.
We love you, but they did the work for everyone. Okay, so
They did. But you know
um
who they didn't do the work for though? Diana Davis.
they did, you know what? She didn't do the work for herself, but also, how are Christina and Anthony ranked above Olivia and Tim? That's just not
I don't
equitable.
get it. I don't get it, but
All right. You could say we're American bias all we want. No. All right. I
no.
no.
Olivia should be first alternate.
Also, Allison Reed is the third alternate with that free dance. That's a choice.
She has the like weird circus free dance. It's
Yeah. Hmm.
that explains it.
It's like something Benoit would enjoy, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
How about the women's event? This is a little odd
This is
because
another one that's tricky.
Kaori's given a lot of quotes recently that her focus isn't on winning worlds this year. She's trying to grow for the Olympic season.
Yeah. But she had a great skate in Japan.
She did. And she
You
also
know,
nationals coming up. So she's going to be pretty trained
she's
coming
got to
up.
be, I think all of the Japanese women are going to be very in great shape here.
I'm nervous for
Um,
all of them. Okay.
I know. We want all of them. I mean, we really want like 4 of them at Worlds.
I
4
do.
of the 5 that are here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I would get rid of Hana Yoshida and send the
Yeah,
rest.
I could do without her. Yeah.
Just
I think
Amber
I
Glenn.
kind of
So it's Amber Glenn, Kaori Sakamoto, Wakaba Higuchi, Hana Yoshida, Mone Chiba, and Rino Matsuki. Okay. Okay, how are you slicing? This is a real Sophie's choice. This is
all right. This is what I have it rigged.
what do
Kaori
you
Sakamoto. This is what I think will happen. Kind of what I want too. Maybe not what I want, but Kaori first,
Mm-hmm.
Monchipa second.
Okay.
Amber Glenn third, Wakaba fourth, Reno fifth, Hana sixth.
All right. Amber needs to have a good short program because I don't trust her in the long.
Yeah, I don't either. She can't have a short like China. If she has a short like China, I think she could finish like fifth, sixth.
I'm afraid she's going to finish last.
I could see it. I could see it. I think Monchipa also could legit win.
Okay, what do I want to happen? I think
Wakaba first.
could win. I don't think Wakaba has the. She doesn't have the spins.
This is what I want. I want Wakaba first. I don't think it will happen, but I
But
want
spins,
Wakaba.
though. Like these girls can do footwork and spin, right? Like
They do. Wakaba spins they're not bad, but they're not like wow, like +3, +4, +5. Like they're more like +2, +3.
+1, +2. Right?
Yeah, maybe. And the jumps, normally in that short program, she gets like triple Lutz Q, triple toe under. And it's always in the short where she digs
I'm
herself.
worried she and Amber could be like 5th and 6th here.
Yeah. I think Reno could be 2nd through 6th. It's about the short program for her. She's made a lot of mistakes in the short all year.
Right. What do I
It's
want
weird
to
because
happen? Hana Yoshida 6th. Okay.
like her, but I don't not my favorite of the 6. 6 is fine. Are you working from the back up?
No. Well, I'm eliminating in my mind.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
rid of people. Okay. Okay. Monet Chiba first.
Okay.
Amber second.
Okay. Amber has beaten Kaori this year. It's potential.
Wakaba third.
Okay.
Reno fourth. Kaori fifth.
Kaori fifth.
We need to shake it up.
You know what? I'm okay with shaking it up. If you want to shake it up, that's fine. It make 4 continents and worlds more interesting.
Listen, I like Kaori. We've also given her 3 world titles. If Putin didn't invade Ukraine, wouldn't have happened.
Probably not would have. She would have been maybe 2 times. No, maybe
We've given
not.
her a lot. Okay, we have given her a lot. Okay,
she's not a woman this year. She's Chicago. We need woman.
They put Yuka Sato ahead of Christy Yamaguchi at her last World Pro. Okay, Kaori, we have a lot of girls that we have to like love and respect, and that Chicago program and that blonde hair is not it. All right, so
the blonde hair has grown a little bit. I do kind of okay, and I will say, Dave, you might think I'm crazy. I thought the Chicago program really kind of hit hard in NHK when she landed all the jump. Like I thought it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It's not a work of art, but I think it does the job.
Here's the thing. When I watch Mona Chiba, I like Mona Chiba better. When I watch Rino Matsuki, I like Rino Matsuki better.
Rino Matsuki is the best. If we're looking at the quality of her skating,
I know, but
the
I like
best
them
skater
both.
there.
I understand, but I like them both. I also like Yuna.
Rino was the original daughter for me, so she's always number 1.
Okay. I think Amber, a silver medal going into nationals would be like so much confidence for her.
Insane amount of confidence.
She needs to withdraw from 4 continents immediately. Okay?
Yeah. She wins nationals. We don't need to go to 4 continents. You don't need the points.
You understand,
you went to the final.
ADHD people have hyperfocus, right? And what comes after hyperfocus is a shutdown exhaustion period, right? So she can't be on top for that long. Okay.
And that's okay. No fork on it, Amber.
So like we can't have Amber like hyper focusing.
Yeah.
Exhaustion comes real bad. So
And nationals is just such an intense event. Like you need a little bit of a come down, and there really isn't time to come down in between. I know four continents might be a little later this year, but still, it's just
she has the
it's
pressure of
just
defending a national title. I would at least like her to have like a silver medal at the Grand Prix final. I think it'd
Mhm.
be kind of a ton of pressure if she won. It's still Amber. I don't know if she's ready to win the final just yet against these
no,
girls.
I don't either. I don't think she's, and I don't think she needs to win to have a win for her confidence. I think just going out there and skating a solid performance is a confidence booster,
And
regardless of the placement.
she's primed to win a second national title because what's going on with Isabeau, right? So,
No idea.
right, she's in there to like they want to give her a national title.
Yeah, I mean, Isabeau's also fighting for like second, third.
All right, I want Wakaba to get third, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't even. I think she's gonna be fourth or fifth.
I think she'll be fourth or fifth.
Yeah,
I think Amber's going to be third,
I think Amber third is realistic.
but I would like her to be second. I
Yeah,
would like to ride the wave of the last competition.
she skated very well in China, so
Hana
but she had
Yoshida,
that ankle injury thing. But apparently, it's fine.
I don't think Hana's as special as the other girls.
No, she is the most villagey-ish of them.
I like how this is now just like an accepted term. We can just call people village skaters. Yes, she's from the village.
She is little sloppy,
Okay. Little slop. Yes. All
little
right.
sloppy.
Okay.
How are you feeling about
You
the
think
men?
Kaori's gonna win?
Oh, yeah, I think she'll probably be first. I think Monchiba second.
I could see Monchiba winning over
I
Kaori.
could too. Kaori makes a lot of mistakes sometimes. She has had a pretty rough year so far. Japan was a high, but there's been a lot of lows.
I I
And
could
she's
see
bombed
that.
at the final before too.
I think we could have an upset with Monet or Reno.
Reno's got to clean up that short program, Dave.
Okay, but maybe like I was thinking like Monet, like she's just it seems
Yeah,
like it's her time.
Monet's so consistent. Mia Hamada is got her rotating these jumps the best that she can.
Yes.
Beautiful programs. The
Yeah.
power is not as evident with Monet as it is with Kaori. So that is a setback a little bit. So she's
Yeah.
kind of got to get Kaori to make a couple mistakes to really overtake her.
I think Kaori will win Japanese nationals. So
I do
right,
too.
right
Yeah.
now,
I
right?
don't think the final is as indicative of what we will see at nationals. A lot can happen in those 2 weeks or 3 weeks, sorry.
All right.
Like
How about
Japanese nationals are
yeah?
in 3 weeks. Did you like think about this?
Oh yeah.
22 days.
Listen, I'm excited once we get through this. Okay.
Yeah.
The final. We have like a nice week, and
Then
then
we're,
it's
we're locking in for Japan.
Russian and Japanese nationals at the same time. All right.
Yeah. Always a Christmas gift.
I'm gonna take my moves test. We're going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing. All right.
The men.
Ilia Malinin, Yuma Kagiyama, Shun Sato, Kevin Aymoz, Daniel Grosso, and Mikhail Shidorov. All right.
Okay.
By the way, Andrew Torgashev is now the alternate. Like, whoa.
First alternate, right? Or second?
Well, now first because Adam withdrew.
Yeah. First alternate.
What do I think is going to happen? I think Ilya is going to win and Yuma is
Yep.
going second.
Yep.
What do I want to happen?
Yuma to win. Of course.
And I
You're
want
gonna put
Ilya to
Kevin
do the quad-
second?
I want Ilya to do the quad axle. Okay.
He's supposed to do it. I saw on his like his Twitter update account, they said he's
If he
doing
doesn't
it.
do it, I'm not happy. All right. I want to see it. All right.
We want to see it. It's been a while.
It's like when Kimmy Meisner showed us the triple axle and then we didn't see it. It's like, I want to see the triple axle.
We want to see the triple axle. Where's the quad, Ilya? Come on. Like just like I want to see the
I want Yuma to have a moment.
I want him to do a really beautiful, clean long, because
Yes.
that's what we've been missing this year.
Yes.
And I want to see a beautiful quad flip. That's what I want to see.
Yes. Like as good as his quad sao.
Yeah, like +5 quad flip.
All right. What the heck do you think is going to happen with Kevin Aymoz?
He's been looking good on Instagram, but I mean, Instagram's a different beast than competing. And this is where his rails went off the track last year. Was at the final. Granted, Adam was there. He's not here this year, and somehow Adam kind of has a little bit of a mental, causes them to have mental lapse in competition. This is a final in France, so there is some pressure there.
It could also be an opportunity, home crowd.
It is
right?
an opportunity too. So, it's a double-edged sword. I see him being anywhere from 3rd to 6th.
Yes.
And I think if he wants to medal, he's really got to lock in. Like I don't think he could really make any mistakes if he wants to medal.
I know.
What has Sylvia said? Have you heard from her?
No, I didn't even ask her.
Okay.
I did see that he posted his last triple axel before leaving.
It looked great. He's posted some quad toes too. He looks good.
I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to be 3rd or 4th.
Okay. I think I'm erring on the side of 4th.
I would like to see him medal.
Yeah, I think it would be good for him and, like for the French Federation to build the sport. I think it would be good for them to have a medalist
I think
at their
Daniel
home
Gross
Grand Prix
is gonna be
final.
last.
I think Daniel Grasso is going to be last too.
I think Shidorov is going to beat him.
I think Shidorov is going to be 3rd. That's a little bold, but I'm going to go. I think he might be 3rd.
I could see it.
And I think Shun Sato could be 4th or 5th.
I could also see Shun getting 3rd.
I could see Shun getting 3rd too. But Shidorov he had a great Cup of China. I mean, he did lose to Shun, and Shun had mistakes too. So you have to think maybe that's not erring on the side for Mikkel to do well, but there's something about him.
Like Daniel Grosso pretending to skate to Swan Lake, it's a lot, right?
It's a little much. I really am not like. I don't understand why we're pretending to give him all these like fake PCS marks and clean jumps. It's the overscoring is really egregious.
I don't think it's happening this week.
No, I don't think we're gonna get our jumps called clean here.
I think Kevin might have his moment.
I kind of hope he does. It would be exciting for him after everything he's endured the past year and a half.
The stars could align.
Yeah. It would be his world's moment that one year,
Because
2 years
what's
ago.
going on with Adam's ankle, right?
I mean, he looks like rough.
Here's the thing: is that like ankle injuries can take depending, like sprains are okay. So like, and a lot of skaters obviously have injured ankles that get injured repeatedly, right? And because you wear skates all the time, you think that your ankles are really strong, but they're often not as strong.
Super weak, so weak.
Then you have to do a lot of strengthening off the ice.
Yeah.
You can have an ankle injury and like a little weird landing, and it can like sting for a couple days, and that's fine, right? And then, but if you
some of them linger, really.
If you have a bad sprain, sometimes it's like never the same, right? No matter, or it takes a really long time to rehab.
Yeah. I could see Adam being really out of it
over the summer. He came back for the Grand Prix
prematurely, I feel.
Yeah. Or he could have
but I could see him being out for Europeans.
Yeah. So like things have opened up for Kevin, right? Like the stars aligned. So I still bet on Adam for Worlds to pull through by then.
Okay.
But I think Kevin has an opportunity here and an opportunity
Yeah.
potentially with Europeans to get an
And French
ISU medal.
nationals do well there, build some
Not
confidence.
like he has not had an ISU medal at like a big event between Europeans, the final, Worlds.
Yeah. He's medaled at the final before
Wait, so
in
it's European.
2019.
So it's
He
Europeans.
he's
They're
bombed at
always
Europeans. Yeah.
yeah.
The years he was supposed to medal, remember he didn't even make the free. Those in 2020.
He did medal at the final 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen again. I think he's going to medal here and some of them not to the Europeans.
Do you think he's not going to make the final at Euros again?
You know what? I'm going to put him in the Amber Glen category where they both seem like they're on a high, and
Let's ride the high,
let's ride the high. Okay.
Yeah.
French nationals could be rough. Okay, it could be real.
Don't
rough.
even. He should skip it. He should skip it.
It's got COVID. He has
Okay.
whatever Maxim Deschamps says. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of injuries,
Yes.
what are you thinking about Luna Hendricks? What is going on there? What do you think?
I don't know. She's supposed to be returning to competition. I'm less and less. Listen, every time someone misses a competition at her level, when they've had a break, like she has had, you start to wonder if this is when we retire.
Yeah.
Right? Because now her competition would be nationals, right?
Yeah, she could skip it if she really they don't really have the Belgian girls go, but she probably should do it.
Would she want her first competition to be Europeans? Like,
I mean, you don't want your first competition to be European. I mean, technically, her first competition was the Shanghai, but definitely this would be her first back from that. I would say, I guess she'd need to do nationals or like one of those little small events in Europe.
it just depends. Who knows how motivated she is? I could see it going either way. I could see her just, starting at nationals and going that way. Or I can see that this is where you start to wonder, do I really want to do this?
And then she puts really her Olympic spot kind of in the hands of Nina next year or at Worlds. If she doesn't score in the top 10, then they don't get the 2 spots.
But does she
kind of
want to go if she's having that question, right?
To the Olympics?
If she's not going to compete now,
I
don't think it's going to get easier next year.
I don't either, but I think she will I think that she's gotten this far that she'll make the attempt to go. And when you're 1 year out from the Olympics, like I don't think you just pack it up the year before.
What do you think? Like, in the same thing with Isabeau, right? Both she and Luna are in a weird spot where obviously they can come back, right?
Yeah.
They have the talent, they have the ability, but they're in that weird spot. Neither has the cleanest jumps, right? And you're against people like Sarah Everhart, Lou, even Brady,
that are rising.
Yeah, it's tough, right? So, and we don't know who Luna's people are, right? Like, is it just Nina? Like, is she worried about Europeans? Is she worried about being on the podium at Worlds? Like, what is it, right? And it's probably something. Like, it's probably seeing her window in something. Like,
and
yeah,
if you really look at last year's Worlds versus this year's fall, there's a world of difference in the competition level between the women. I mean, last year her performance at Worlds probably wouldn't place her even in the top 8 now.
And we remember next year, Korea potentially gets way more competitive again.
Korea gets more competitive next year.
Yeah.
Japan is like a junior or 2 moving up.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely amps up a lot next year.
Right. Well, let's talk about the event that happened in Korea.
Yeah.
Their ranking competition. This one was the President's Cup qualifier.
President's Ranking Cup every year. Another meaningless competition, but
all right. But we got to see Hae Lee, who's back after her suspension was overturned. She was supposed to be out for 3 years.
years.
And she is back. Also,
And
when they needed her, it's convenient for the foundation. But I don't think that those are actually related. But she is back. And I don't know what you thought, but I found that to me, it wasn't her jumps. Like, her jumps look good. She looked relatively trained. But I didn't see the confidence in the performance from her. And maybe it's just what she's gone through over the last months, being in I mean, we didn't talk about it on here too much, but, she was involved in a scandal with, a relationship with an underage skater. And at one point, there were like a lot of question marks about it, right? But at another point, her diary got leaked to the press.
Did she release the diary?
I don't know.
But there was something that she released too, and it was just there was a lot of confusion about everything that occurred in that whole scenario.
She was emotional after the free, right? And I just thought that her level of performance wasn't there in either program. And a lot of people are skating to Beyonce this year. I guess it's like the Romanian gymnasts, doing floor routines to Hooked on America.
The new hit thing.
Yankee Doodle Dandy because of Boston World. They think, oh, Beyonce. Americans will love it.
Yeah.
I love that album that she is skating to. I don't love the edit. I just don't think that she has the pizzazz for that short. I would ditch.
I think I would ditch the short. I think, okay, first off, I just want to say I was honestly surprised about her conditioning with the jumps for the program. I really thought that the suspension, like I was kind of expecting very low technical caliber as we went out there. And when I saw the practice clips, I was very pleasantly surprised with how well the jumps looked. I think the free skate was super duper empty. And I think that is a clear showing of that she's not in the best peaking or best conditioning right now of training. And because there really was no transitions or anything within that free skate. It felt like a 7-minute program. But I do think that with her back, she adds a bit of intrigue to the depth of the layer of the women's event. She can help Korea get the 3 spots next year. I think she just adds a little bit more interest into the event because I think also she kind of plays the villain a little bit now with the fans on Twitter. They can that's something that the fans have been clinging on to too, and causes a little bit more conversation in the talks of the women's event right now.
More conversation for sure.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what will happen with her. I would send her to 4 continents and worlds at this point.
Well, yeah, she is going to 4 continents, and now they have to they'll qualify for worlds at their national event.
Yeah, I liked what I saw in terms of where she is. I think that she can improve. And for worlds, and certainly the backstory adds a lot of intrigue. With her.
Also, for Young Yu, the reason that she was not, this is just for the fans, that the reason that she was not able to come back is because Hyan Lee petitioned or appealed her suspension, and Young Yu did not appeal her suspension.
Yeah, it was only 1 year, so she could be back next year.
She kind of thought it wasn't worth the appeal, and now she's sitting out the year.
So,
yeah,
the girl Jia Shin, she's been at the cricket club. New free skate, which I think was a good move. Her
good move
to me.
I think her snap into them looks a lot better. I was rewatching some of her junior Grand Prix events this year, and I really noticed it on the triple flip double axel. You could really see in the fall that her double axel getting into the air position, she was very sloppy, very open. And now you're seeing that the air position's tightening up. She's getting, even with the mistakes, I think the snap just looks a lot better. But I do think she's lacking a little bit of confidence right now. And you could see it in the free skate. on the second half, the Let's toe. She kind of puts her foot down a little bit. It kind of looked like a preventative foot down just in case there was a mistake. But I think overall it's getting better. And I kind of am happy that she has this time not going to the final because it allows her to work, get more work done, get more time to rest because the Koreans compete so much that I think it's good to have a year to rest before an important season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that she will be back in
Yeah.
big form for next year. So I think she's moving up, and I thought it was a step in the right direction. She looks taller. There looked to be more refinement to her. So I think she's moving in the right direction. But what do you
Yeah.
make of June? Because June is a
Okay.
skater who should be in the final, right? Especially with
Yeah.
the men. He would definitely be extremely competitive.
So he has the injury,
Mhm.
or the injury. I don't know what exactly it is. I've seen it on Twitter, but I forgot. It wasn't. He took it easy, which I think was smart. I mean, really, he shouldn't really have to compete here, but I mean, you have to because of Korea. But I honestly think when he's healthy, he should just cut the loss with the quad toe, and I don't think we should try the quad toe anymore. We've got the Hail Mary land, I think, at Skate Canada, but I think
But
we should
he's
just do
done it
two
really well.
sows.
I mean, listen, there was the year at Worlds that Melinda was loving the quad toe, right? So
Yeah,
I think it is possible, and he needs it if he's going to be competitive with the other guys, right? So
yeah.
I do think he needs that quad toe because I don't see him adding another quad.
You don't
And
think two sows?
I could see him doing, yeah, like two sows and a toe, right?
Okay,
To
that's a lot. I feel
I
like that's a
mean,
lot for him.
right, but he's against Ilia Malinin, right? So I
But
mean,
do you think
and
he's
Yuma.
aiming? I know, but do you think he's aiming for first and second?
Listen, like you need to put the content in. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
You don't know who's going to be injured. You don't know who's going to do what. If he wants to be in the conversation, it's time to show up.
yeah, okay.
He, it's. I think they've been building towards that. Um,
Yeah,
Obviously, two quad sows for this season.
yeah,
With the injury, right? But I think for your Olympic program, he would want three quads. I would think,
okay.
but can he do it? I don't know, right?
I don't
Like.
know. I think the toe is so spotty in terms of the success rate.
Mhm.
I think we need to like go back and look at the success rate of the toe because I don't know. I don't, I really enjoy his skating, but I don't know if he's really in it for first and second.
I don't think you're a competitor if you give up on the toe now with the Olympics a year out and adding
Okay.
that ankle. And
Yeah,
because he could be an Olympic medalist.
he could. Yeah.
And
He did do the toe at the last Olympics.
yeah. So I wouldn't want to see him quit on himself with that just yet
Okay.
for his career, right? Like he can
Yeah.
beat Shun Sato. Like he can
He
beat
can
him.
beat Shunsato. Yeah.
He could beat Daniel Grassel and Kevin.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
Right. So I wouldn't want to see him give up the toe just yet. But
Yeah.
for this year, with what, there's a different story, but maybe not compete it, but definitely train it. So
Yeah.
he's going. I think he's going to need it for the Olympics. So
Yeah.
I do think
How'd
he'll
you,
be there. I think he'll.
yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about Cheon Kim?
I feel like I usually feel about Chaeyoung Kim. She's,
Okay.
like she's consistent. Doesn't move me, but yeah. How about what do you think?
I'm like becoming a fan.
All right, talk it out.
It's okay,
Why?
it's not even that like she's artistic. It's just like her vibe that she has like when she's on the ice. Like she's out there to like slay, you know?
She
She goes
is.
out there with that Tron program. Like it's so interesting. I feel like it's so different than what we're seeing right now from everyone else.
It's not
And
my taste at all.
I know you're not a Tron fan, but you do like the Dune program, and I told you that you should watch the Dune movie.
Both Dune programs have grown
And
on
you
me.
said and you said Dune is not your vibe.
It's not. I'm honest
but
about it, right? But
yeah,
Olivia
I'm a
Smart in
Cheon
Madison
fan.
costume, she's giving us drama, right? Like
He
that's
did do a great job with that costume. So
right. And then Adam is giving us camp, right? So
yeah,
like,
lying on the ice, like I love it. We love it so much.
I can't say that that's good or advisable,
Yeah,
but it's French camp.
it's
So
so French, so French.
I'm not hating.
Yeah.
Did you watch Lilah and like I mean winning British
No,
Masters, of
no, I
course.
didn't. Did you?
Yes, okay. And once again, I really want them to show us Roman teaching them how to do the stomping part. Because you know that Lilah was the last one in that trio to learn how to stomp like Beyonce.
Of
Okay.
course.
And I think
Yeah.
Roman and Lewis doing it side by side is the content that we need on social media. Like
Yeah.
if they medal at the final, like that's what we need to see. Because like I think
We
this
we
is what
want that in the final post.
yes, it should be in the final
Yeah.
post. Because before Worlds, they should have Tessa do it with them. Maybe Tessa
Okay.
and Roman together. And then like Tessa can have her baby in the background because people love babies and puppies, right? You put
Hmm.
that all in like one social media montage of like everybody
Yeah.
with them. Okay.
Yeah.
When they're going diagonally, like this is what we need to see. This is
100%.
mhm. I thought that she did it, she was better this week, but like, we need to work on our lines and our extension.
That
So
knee is never going to be fixed, though.
but it could be, okay?
It
I mean,
could be.
it's hard.
It's
So
very, I just don't think it's not a priority. The stomp is a priority.
it's a priority for me as well. Um, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
If you have one pick, because we can't moment of the week, like
There was no moment of the week, but
moment of the week, I mean, High Lee, right? Um, also, yeah, okay. Moment. Okay, if you get
maybe
one,
not high and Lee.
okay, one pick for the final of something you want to see, what is it?
I want to see Wakaba medal.
Okay.
I want to see a Wakaba medal.
Yeah, I do too.
Hmm.
Here's the thing.
I want to feel the spirit of Kate Bush,
Do you
like
remember on
coming
TSL
over
Live?
me.
Do you remember on TSL Live, like we lit candles to get Roman to the Olympics, and it took every candle, and he got like that last or second to last spot at Nebelhorn, right? Like it was not
He did.
a for sure thing. I think it's gonna take that to get Wakaba on the podium with this field.
I know. And to get her to Worlds, like, do you think we can get her to Worlds too? Like, I don't know if the
Okay,
Canos
I
can do
think
that much.
listen, I think the other skaters can do it on their own more.
Hmm.
I think we need to come together to get Wakaba there. Okay.
Do we need to have like a group candle lighting?
Yes, like do you remember when she skated the Lion King and how it really like touched our hearts and our
I
souls?
just remember not like going through a spiritual awakening.
Right? Like I think it's gonna take that to get her
Yeah.
right. I'm getting
Hey,
texts
we
right
have a
now
lot of work.
being sick.
You gotta,
Like
you're getting text what?
about Max being sick. Like everyone is so shook by him being sick. People get sick, okay?
People
Like yeah.
get sick. It's flu season.
All right.
Get your
I got
shots.
another text. Someone goes, "Is Guillaume gonna skate with Laurence?"
You
Interesting.
know, but wouldn't that be interesting? I've seen that on Twitter.
What country would they represent? How? I mean,
I
he
don't
would
know.
represent
I feel
Canada, but
like
he
it's
couldn't go to
easy
the
to get
Olympics.
French. I feel like it's easy to get French citizenship, right?
Is it?
I don't know. Definitely easier than Canada.
Oh my God, that would be so exciting if it happened. Like I enjoy a fun Hail Mary pass,
Where would
right?
they place? Where would you put them?
I mean, they're with I am. So,
Yeah.
would they even match? Like, I don't know.
I know, but they're great. Both of them are great skaters.
Christine Brennan taught us to root for the drama, so obviously we have
We're
to
rooting for the drama.
we're rooting for them. We're rooting
Yeah.
for, like we need it. Um, yeah. And like we also then would root for like imagine the drama of Russia getting one spot. next year and them
I
trying
mean,
to
that would be really intense to see who gets that one spot for all of
like,
their.
you know what's going to happen eventually, right?
Oh my God. Just imagine you have Galyama and Boykova again going head to
Like,
head
we
again.
deserve that. We have been
It would
so
be interesting.
right because they don't like each other any more than they did in 2021. So
And now you have a Terry versus Masvina again.
I know.
I feel like this time around, I'm rooting for Boykova. I kind
It
of
would be,
enjoy her grittiness more.
wouldn't it be hysterical if Russia like really struggled to get spots back in one discipline? Like if their man kept bombing, right? Or
I
like
don't think I think their men would be fine. I think they have the guys that can get the job done.
yeah, but they
But their
listen.
dance would be like so low,
I know it could
right?
be
Or do you think Julien would
fun.
get the job done?
It could be fun, right?
It would be fun. It would be interesting.
Like watching Julien Gravel would be great. All right.
Julien Gravel for like 12th place. I mean, I am's like a mecca now. Like it's hard to take that down, right?
Don't invite them back for Worlds. It's not, no, not,
No,
not
not this Worlds.
but like
Do you think they're going to be back? Like, if you had to put money on it right now,
the Olympics,
yeah.
it all depends on what happens with the war. And if it gets, if
If
like
you
the,
had to put,
there's
if
a
you had to,
negotiated settlement, wait. Okay. If there's a negotiated settlement,
Mhm.
it'll be easier to bring them back as neutrals, right? But then you
Yeah.
get into the debate of who's actually neutral. Or if the war is over, there's nothing really to be neutral about, right?
I also think that the ISU won't really do research into who is neutral. I don't trust them to actually take that seriously.
Okay. If the war ends for real, I think we could see them back.
Okay.
But the
Yeah,
war
I
would
think if the war ends, like, yeah, they have no reason to not be.
but the war would need to end for real by like mid-July. Like right, like end of June, like right to that.
Hmm.
Then the ISU would have a lot of pressure on them, and I think they would cave, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens over the next couple of months.
Yeah. A lot could
What
change.
happens is if the war is not over, we get into the whole neutrality discussion, and there's just no way, right?
There's no
But
way you can like do a full in-depth research before.
there's no way you can claim any of them are neutral.
No, none of them are
Right?
neutral. They're all getting government funding.
But if the war is over, there's nothing really to be neutral about, right?
Yeah. Well, if the war's over, they'd be fine.
So that's I don't know. But the war
Yeah.
being over was a big F too. I just want to see
Big F.
Bokova and Galyamov compete against each other. Like, can we just give them
You
one
wait,
spot?
you want to see who? Oh, Boykova. I feel like we could give them like the exhibition event for the pairs. Like they get an exhibition medal, right?
I just want to see like them have to compete against each other for the spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know they'll be complaining the entire year that they only
Like,
have
I
one
think
spot for each discipline.
yes, and I think the fun of them competing for the spot would be better than them arriving at the actual event, right? Like the Olympic trials would be more fun, right?
Hmm.
So I would really like imagine the drama of those two pairs competing against each other for like 6 months at every
And you
competition.
know what is going on with Kosternaya? Like what is going
She's
on
been
with
for 2
her?
years, but here's the thing, Nolan. Oh, in an ideal world,
Could you imagine her? She switched to like a
you know
different
what should
country.
happen? They announced the Grand Prix slots.
Hmm.
No Russia, right?
Okay, they'll go crazy.
But they allow them for one spot at Nebelhorn or whatever's replacing Nebelhorn.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can go to like a B-list challenger.
They can listen. Those B-list challenger events, they can make the scores happen there. All right, they will
Right.
be at the Dennis 10 Trophy with like a 275 score for like Petrosian. All right,
They need to grovel. When they come
and
back,
they'll believe it's like real scoring.
like, oh yeah. Like, I want to see them in the first warm-up group, right?
At the Olympics with like the
No Russian, Belarusian, or Ari Zakarian judges on the path. Okay, like they need to earn their scores.
no Russian judge, no Kazakhstan judge,
Hair samples
no Bulgaria, hair samples.
that Putin has to pay for everyone.
Mm-hmm. We're being legit this Olympics, all right? You want to go, you come clean, all right?
You can clean hair samples.
They won't come clean, but it's okay.
Listen. Imagine them having to go like.
Could you imagine the Sports Root article that says that they had to provide hair samples?
No. Could you imagine sports dissecting the field at Nebelhorn and like discussing some of the skaters that they will be against for the spots? Like that alone. I mean, it's not at Nebelhorn. Sorry, we keep saying Nebelhorn, but that would,
Nationals, yeah.
that would make that event pop. It would make the Olympic season pop, right? Like
it would be very interesting. Very, very interesting.
We need to spice things up. You know, like
you know what, this year is like the precursor to like we're having a lot of the final is going to set the stage. We're going to have a mix up in dance this week. We're going to have a mix up in the women. The pairs is going to be chaotic. It all happens on Thursday. Like we're ready to go.
Listen, at Ice Wars, I think they even let the world team win one time, maybe more, at least one time. Does anyone know how many times did the world team actually win Ice Wars? I believe the one that happened over Thanksgiving because there was like a spring one, right? I only remember them winning one time. Like in the early years that mattered. Maybe in some of these later seasons when Christy was like, you know, done touring and still competing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think anything can happen, but listen, look at what's happening in US politics. Look at these cabinet picks. Russia could be back for the Olympics. Like anything is possible. All right. So
yeah.
Neutrality. Have you ever been neutral about anything in your life? Come on. Like me,
we all have opinions.
The only thing I've been neutral about right now is who do I want to be third in pairs at the final, right?
Third and fourth, you know.
Third and fourth. I don't even care. That's the only thing. Patinage looks sexy, everyone.
Bye, guys.